I am not the main expert on English longsword, I do not pretend to be. However, it is one of my favorite things to research, as well as try to grow in the community. The longsword is probably the biggest weapon in HEMA. It's the main one everyone uses, and there are generally two traditions that people follow, whether the German tradition under Lichtenauer or the Italian tradition, usually under Fiore, though there's a few other exceptions. Both of these are fantastic traditions. Some of my best friends I've met in this life each follow each respective tradition. However, my main one I've been researching for pretty much the entire time I've been HEMA has been the English longsword. There's a few reasons why. You may think it's silly, it's stupid, or that there are other things I can waste my time with. However, I feel that these sources and just the historical context of the English longsword is just fascinating to me. The interest I have in it has been some of the best driving force in my life, and overall is honestly an effective system. The main sources I use for the English longsword research is going to be the Ladolvo, the Harley script, Cotton, and George Silver's works, Paradox of Defense, and Basic Instructions, respectively. All of these sources can be found on Wiktonow, which is my favorite place to research these sources. Feel free to check it out, and I highly recommend you do, as well as maybe donating a pittance to them just so they can support their work. Regardless of the main original sources, there are a few modern sources I'll use as well, such as Wagner's work from around the 2000s, Jason Bright's unfinished English longsword book, set to be released sometime, I hope, as well as Zach Wilde, a little bit, not much, and an article by Ars Insis, which is a fantastic manuscript and a great essay to read. Even though it doesn't have much combat learning in it, it is a good reference to start learning about the history and the possibility of what things mean. I don't think they're perfect. I don't agree with them on a few things, and they kind of skip over what I feel like are a few important parts to work on. Regardless, though, it is a fantastic manuscript, and I'll be referencing it quite a lot in these essays. Now, where does my own research fit into this? I'm trying to create a practical essay, a practical curriculum for my students. Now, I've always been interested in researching and learning from the original sources. However, there's been quite a few events over the past couple years that have kind of pushed me into trying to work on these essays and do my research quite professionally to get this stuff done. Probably the biggest is being an instructor, trying to not let my students down. At the minute, there is no other option in my local city. And if no one else was going to do it, I was. And this has been not the biggest stress in my life, but one of the biggest driving factors to try to create a proper curriculum system based on the English longsword. I could have done something else. I could have researched the German or the Italian traditions, but I am far too stubborn to get off the path I was already on. Anyway, I think I am decently successful in this, and am quite interested in what you all would like to think of this. Besides just fencing in a one-on-one on duel, I do think the English system is also pretty decent for a general adventurer survival aspect, whether you're a fantasy adventurer or trying to survive in medieval England. A lot of mechanics, the ideas, and the ethics behind it do lend itself quite well to being an adventurer in the wild, whether as part of a team or just trying to be out on the road by yourself. Even if you're not fencing someone one-on-one, learning these skills would help you in all of these other aspects. Now, why should you care? You shouldn't. You have no obligation to follow me, listen to me, or give a general crap of what I say. Almost all my essays are already released on the Blogger website and the World Anvil. However, I'm going to start making a lot more videos and trying to make it much more easier for people to digest the work that I'm doing. Like I said, I am not the primary expert on the English longsword. I'm just a guy who's way too caring about this, and it is honestly a fantastic way to live my life and to grow my faith, to try to be a stronger man for whatever generation comes after me. Thank you all for watching, and praying you all a good day.